Hi kids, my name's Nicole and this is Let's Make Art and you are here to paint with us and this is going to be a fun one because we're doing a rocket ship, and that was Keenan making those awesome sound effects.
Hello!
So we're going to paint together. Now, for this one, before we get started, actually, I want to show you there are so many different ways that you can do this. So we had a few of our kids paint something. Actually, Keenan painted this one, right? Was that one yours?
Was that mine?
I think that was yours.
Oh.
So you can do some light colors, you can do some bright colors. We're gonna have so much fun together. So I want you to remember that this is your own painting. So the supplies that we're using are, we have a paper. Now this already has part of the rocket ship outline. If you don't have this, you can maybe go ask a grown-up and say, hey, can you help me? I wanna get the outline from their website. Or if you have a sheet of paper, you can go and trace more. So this is the fun thing if you have friends that wanna paint with you. Now, we have two different brushes. If you don't have these, it's okay, but I'm gonna be using a small one for the really small parts and then a big one for the background. So that's why I like to have two. Then I will also be using a magic white crayon. So do you see how on the rocket ship, how our flames and then our stars are white? So we're gonna make that together. Then the three colors we are using, here's my guide, is we are using this color called fuchsia, and it's a close to magenta or a red, if you have that. We're using space blue, because we're going to space today, and lemon yellow. So you can see you can make all these colors just from these three colors. Now, before we like to start, we say a motto together. So if you could all raise your right hand and repeat after me. I am brave.
I am brave.
I am kind.
I am kind.
And I am creative.
And I am creative.
Let's do this. And then you fist pump your friend. Okay, so grab your pencil. That's the other tool that you'll need because we're going to do just a little bit of drawing. So do you see how on my rocket ship, it's blank right now, so we get to design it. So the first step is there a window on your rocket ship? So in mine, there's gonna be a window right in the middle, and it's gonna be a circle. So draw a circle, and then what I want you to do is draw a little bit smaller circle inside, like this. And do you know why?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Is when you do that, do you see how it makes the rim, or you know like when you look at a window, you have the edge of it. So you have our glass part, and then we have the edge of it. So that's why we make two circles together. Now the other part I want you to decorate is, are there different parts that are different colors? So do you see how on this example, there's a couple different lines. So parts of it's red, and then there's a white stripe. So I want you to draw your, if your rocket ship has stripes. Now to do this is you're gonna start on the left and then you're gonna draw a smiley face all the way across. Then maybe I'll draw one more. Maybe draw another one if you want. So you get to decide how many stripes your rocket ship has. And then we're done with our pencil for now. Go to your white crayon. Now, when you're doing this, I want you to press really, really hard. So there are two things we're gonna draw. One is we're gonna draw the flames. So the flames are coming off of the rocket ship because the rocket ship is shooting this way. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna draw, let's see, actually, I'll show you on this example, is you're gonna draw flames and they kind of look like triangles or pointed parts of it. Now, when you're doing this, it doesn't need to look exactly like mine. This is the fun thing, is we're just drawing it and we're kind of just drawing lines. So if it's easier to think, Nicole, I'm just gonna draw triangles. Just draw really big triangles like that. So that was per practice. Now what I want you to do is grab your white crayon and press really hard. I want you to do that same thing. So again, we're just drawing points because that's where our flames are shooting out from the bottom of this rocket. And remember to press hard. Then the next thing that we're going to use our white crayon for is because our rocket ship is going into space, it's nighttime, and there's all these beautiful stars. So in this empty space is we're gonna use the crayon and we're gonna draw stars. Now, if your stars are just circles, because when you look at stars from really far away, they just kind of look like sprinkles. Or you can draw a star in your sky. You get to pick. So again, I can't really see, so I don't really know. I'm just kind of drawing. We'll see what happens. It'll be fun magic trick.
It's like a magic surprise.
Maybe you draw some lines like this if you want to make it a shooting star. So fill up your background with your white crayon. Okay, look at that. We're done with that step.
So easy.
Yes. Okay, now let's paint together. And before we get to painting, always remember, you can see my paint table. It's very messy. So if you need to make it clear, you can do that for yours. But the other part I want you to do is tape your paper down. So I used some tape and I taped this down to my table so it doesn't move. Now, when you are mixing or watercolors, I have my palette close to me and I want to mix two different colors. So do you see how on this one, there's like a navy and then it goes to black on the edges?
Yes.
So I'm gonna mix those two colors together. Now, from my color mixing guide, navy is mixing fuchsia and space blue together. So it's 2 drops of fuchsia and then 4 drops of blue. And the reason why there's more blue is because it's closer to my space blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have my cup of water close to me. I always like to do that. So I'm gonna dip in water. So I have a little test paper because I want to see what color we got. Boom, look at that.
Ooh.
We just made a pretty blue. So then I'm gonna make one more color. I'm gonna make black. So to make black, you do 5 drops. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drops of fuchsia, 5 drops of yellow. Oh, maybe 6. It's okay. Sometimes it comes out fast. And then 4 drops of blue. So the reason why is when you mix the 3 primary colors together, they make black. Watch.
Whoa, that's dark.
Look at what you just made. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now we're ready to paint our background. So the first step is we are going to use our bigger brush because we're going to paint this really big area. So dip your brush in water, pick up the blue, and I want you to paint. So we're painting around the rocket ship and painting blue. So you can kind of see, do you see how the star?
Ooh.
My white crayon's starting to come up. That's what's gonna happen for yours. And I'm painting over my tape and keep going.
Do you know how long it takes to get from the planet Earth to space?
No, I don't.
When a rocket is going the speed at which it is required to leave the planet, to get into the spatial orbit, it has to go 1,100 feet per second, which is 3 football fields. Almost 4 football fields.
Per second.
Per 1 second. So 1, it just traveled 1,100 feet.
Whoa.
Right? So it has to go that fast, which means it only takes about 5 minutes for it to leave.
Wow.
Because it is 65 miles, I think, to reach what's considered orbital space.
That's a great fun fact.
Super crazy.
So I ran out of color, so I had to make more while we were giving that fun fact to you. But when we're doing this, one thing is I want you to paint around your flame.
So don't go in your flame?
Yep. So paint around it like that. That's one trick. So I'm gonna keep painting. Oh, I didn't even realize that was happening. Do you all see your stars coming to life?
They're popping out
They're shining bright.
like daisies.
Sweet. Okay. Now, the next step is the darker color that I have. Let me bring this. I'm gonna swish my brush in water because whenever we change colors, we dip it in water. And then the black that I made earlier is what I want you to do is I want you to just paint along the edges. So the outsides of your night sky, we're gonna paint the edges. And the reason why is it makes your rocket look like it's going even further. So the edges look like they're further away.
Cool.
Like that. Now, we have these lines right here, so what I want you to do is I want you to dip your brush in water, and here's a cool thing, is we're gonna, where you see this line, is I want you to go like this over it with water. And you blend it in like that.
That's like cutting your hair. You gotta blend in the line.
Oh,
you don't wanna have a hard line.
Yeah, so we're blending in. So water is a cool tool. We don't have scissors to cut, but we're using water.
Water. Water is good for art and drinking.
Okay, there we go. Good job. Now, we are going to mix a few more colors. So we have on our rocket ship, we have, oh, where is it? This is to remind you that you can make this your own color. So here's an example of, here's a pink rocket.
Oh.
So if you want to make your rocket pink, this might be Keenan's daughter.
It might have been Vita.
Or maybe it has some cool different colors.
Ooh.
But what we're gonna do is you're going to mix a few colors. So if you have your guide, is pick a color. Now, the two colors I wanna make today is I wanna make orange for my flames and then some red for my rocket ship. So to make orange, let's see. Orange is yellow and fuchsia mixed together. So we're gonna do 6 drops of yellow, 4, 5, 6, and 1 drop of fuchsia, because the fuchsia is really strong, so we don't need that much. There we go. So there's our orange. Now the next color I want to make is red. So let me teach you something. Do you see how on this, how we have fuchsia and yellow, the two colors we mix together? Orange is closer to yellow and red is closer to fuchsia, right? Mm-hmm. So red is going to have more of this color and orange is going to have more of this color.
Ah.
That's how it works, so whenever it's closer. So to make red, we're just going to use 1 drop of yellow, whereas before we used 6 drops of yellow here. So here I'm just going to use 1 drop of yellow and then 3 drops of fuchsia. So there's more of that color, and that will make a red. Let's see. Ooh, or it made like another pink color. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah, that's nice.
So those are the two colors. So again, if you want to make more colors, I want you to do that. Now, let's paint let's start with the top of our rocket and then we'll go down. So I'm going to use my fuchsia and paint the top of the rocket. Now, I am using the smaller brush. So we have our big and our small. I'm using the smaller one because we're doing a smaller area. And whenever you're painting a small area, guess what? You don't have to press very hard. You just really lightly touch the paper and it'll come off. Now, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have a white stripe and then I'll have another color stripe. Maybe this stripe has some orange in it.
Or maybe it was freshly painted and when they took off, the paint smeared down the rocket.
I like that idea. And it made me think, as Keenan was saying that, it made me think I'm gonna make mine a lot of different colors. So I'm gonna make this part orange, but then I wanna add some yellow to my palette. And then I'm going to pick up some yellow and paint some yellow down here.
That's cool.
So it went like red, orange, yellow, like the rainbow.
Rainbows are good.
Switch colors. So again, you get to decorate your own, which is so fun to be creative. Whoa. Okay.
What are you going to name your rocket?
Ooh. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Or you can come up with a name.
I already have one.
Okay. What is it?
Firestorm.
Great. Firestorm. So Firestorm has some fire at the end because that's how rockets work, is it's really, really hot and the fire pushes them into the sky. So pick up your orange and you're going to paint down at the bottom. Paint your flames. Now, flames sometimes also have some yellow, so maybe you go and grab some yellow. And when you're mixing the color, it's going to mix a little bit with your background, and that's going to look cool. And maybe you'll have some pink right here. Let's just see what happens. So you can mix some different colors and see what you get.
Cool.
But do you see the white crayon that's starting to show up?
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so fun. Oh, wait. Look what also is happening.
Whoa,
see
it's like
this?
a reflection in the sky.
Yeah, so watercolors are beautiful and so much fun because you don't know what's going to happen. And so the colors touched and it made this cool explosion. So it's really going through the sky, the space. I love that so much. Okay, the next thing that we are going to learn together is we have black. So we already made black because we used it on the edge, but I want to teach you how to make gray. So to make a lighter color, so you have black and then you have gray. Where are they? Right here. This will be easier. We have black and we have gray. To make gray is you mix black and a lot of water. So if you want to make any color lighter, you know the trick now. It's color plus water equals a lighter color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my water close to me. And I'm going to dip it in and then just kind of bring some water over here on my palette. And then I'm going to dip in my black just a little bit and then mix it in. So we started with this color. Look at that. Wow. We just made a lighter color of that. So that's the cool thing. So again, remember, color plus water equals a lighter color. Now, the reason why we are doing that is, if you look at our rocket right now, do you see how it looks flat? It just looks white, right?
Yes.
Do you see on this one how there's a little bit of gray on the edge? So it looks rounder. So to do that is we're learning how to make forms. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that light gray. So pick up your light gray, and I want you to paint just the edge. So do you see how I made a stripe?
Yes.
Along the edge. So I want you to do that twice.
What?
Oh, it's going to get some of that color.
Whoa, it already kind of looks more rounded.
Yes. So then the trick is kind of what we did up here when we blended those two colors. When you see that hard line, I want you to dip in water. I want you to hit it off to the side so it gets a little bit of the water off. And where that line is, I want you to put your brush over it, over that line, and blend it together. So you're going back and forth, and you see how that line disappeared?
Yes.
Look at that. So you see the difference here versus here. So let's do that again. So dip in water, hit off to the side, and then where you see that line, I want you to paint right over it. Boom. So we can do it one more time. So
wow.
We just blended our rocket together. Now, there's a little bit more of a line right there, so you can keep going if you want, and you can paint the whole thing. But so do you see how it went from darker to lighter? And then, so cool, mine had those explosions. Now, the last part is, I don't know what this part of the rocket is called. Do you know, Keenan? Or the bottom is called? I'm not sure what it's called. Or what color. We can make it gray, we can make it another color. So we have our gray, so I'll just show you if you want to make it gray. So you're gonna paint it. We'll make this whole part gray. Ooh, and it touched my flame, so it's gonna do those color explosions into it. Yes.
Beautiful.
Now, oh, the other part I remembered is we have our window. Now, just like I was saying, we have the two different circles is on the edge of it. We're gonna also paint that a color. So I'm gonna paint that black, but you get to make it any color you want. There we go. Wow, it was so much fun. It's so fun to just watch and see what happens. Now, here's the really cool thing that I want you to pause and look back and see what you made. Is that there are so many different things that you can look at and be excited about. You might have different color explosions. You have the crayon. You have all these different colors that you made, and the person who you're painting with, maybe you're painting with your friend or a grown-up, is yours is gonna look different, and that is beautiful. So I want you to always remember that when you're painting, is that you are unique just like your painting. So, did you have something to add, Keaton?
I was trying to find out what it was called.
The bottom part? I think
Yes.
there's different types of rockets, as I was learning.
There are very many different types of
there's
rockets.
a lot of different types.
We could call it the nozzle.
The nozzle?
The nozzle,
Okay,
because that's where the exhaust and flame
There we go.
leaves. Nozzle.
the nozzle. So, we're done actually. We painted that.
What?
I know, we're done. So
Look how cool it looks.
I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll take my tape off. But again, this was so much fun, and we have a Facebook group that I wanna see, Keenan and I wanna see what you paint, so share with us. So we have a group called Let's Make Art Kids Projects, and then we have an Instagram called Let's Make Art Kids, where you can tag us, share, tell us a little bit about your rocket. I hope you had so much fun doing this one. Now, before we leave, I want to give a quick shout out to Jillian. She is part of our Let's Make Art Kids community, and she painted our Northern Lights project, which is a really, really fun one. Actually, we use a toothbrush in this one.
Oh.
So it's a really fun one. So shout out to Jillian. You are awesome. Thank you for painting with us.
You
Keep
rock.
painting. We want to keep seeing what you do. So to everyone, always remember that you are brave, kind, and so creative. And we'll see you next time. Bye.